Hi everyone, welcome back. Some more on Surds. Let's look at what we did on the last video and take it to a new level. Again, a lot of people aren't going to use this at a high level, so you just want to keep it simple, get you used to the basics and what happens with Surds. I'm looking for squares everywhere I'm looking when I'm using Surds. I'm looking at numbers that when you get their square root, they simplify. So that's 4, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 25 is 5. So let's have a look at the first one here. I talked about writing as factor trees, so I can get the number 8 and I can break it down into 4 and 2. Or I can simply say I could write an 8 as a 4 times a 2. Now, the 8 here, I can write that as a root 4 times root 2. If you wanted to pick up your calculator and check, if you go root 4 times root 2, you'll get the same answer as a root of 8. So the insides of the surds follow normal multiplication rules. And this one's just a root 2 here. So let's have a look at what we've got. A root 4 turns into just a 2, so that's 2 lots of root 2. And here's another lot of root 2. So what's interesting, this is 2 root 2 plus 1 lot of root 2, which is the same as 3 root 2. And if you're not understanding them, you can pick up your calculator and go 3 times root 2 and do those and see that they calculate the same. So let's have a look at the next one. This one obviously is not going to be 4s, but we're looking for 9s. So it's an odd number, so I can't be looking for 4s and 16s. And it's pretty obvious it's not a 25 as well. So this has ended up in a 7, so it's going to be an odd number. So I could break that down by factor trees into a root 9 by a root 3. And then I've got another root 3. And I'm subtracting this time. So the root of 9 is just 3, so that's, people don't bother writing the times. And once you get used to it, everyone knows that that's just 3 root 3. That's minus a root 3. So 3 root 3s minus, I'm going to write this here this time, minus 1 root 3 is 2 root 3s. And you go again, you could just put it in your calculator and see what the calculations are. So everywhere you go in maths, people will ask you to do these. Interesting part is you can just do them by putting them in your calculator, but there's an understanding of them that we need for further maths. So this one here is even, so it can't be a 9, it can't be a 25, so I'm looking for a 4. So for my factor trees, I could change that into a root 4 and a root 5. Remember, the insides 4 5s are 20, or I can split the 20 into a 4 times 5 as factor trees. This one here I can break into a 4 and a 2. So what have I got now? The root of 4 is just 2. I always talk about what's a 4. It's 2. I don't have to write the multiplication, so it's 2 root 5. And this one is a 2 root 2. And you look at that one, you go, well, okay, I can change it and rearrange it to that. Was it any advantage? And you go, no, it's of no advantage at all. So let's go to this one here. And I've got this time 25. So that's the square root of 25. And then I've got 3 lots of 25. So 3 25s are 75. This one I can break into 25 and I can break that into 2. So therefore this one's got a 5 root 3 minus a 5 root 2. And again, in terms of collecting like terms, it's only the ones that have root 3 or root 2 that you can take further. So this was a handy exercise and that you could do, but in this case it's of no value. So there's some more basics on Surds. I hope it helps. If you're finding it helpful, just let your friends know.